Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a kind of cool video, a little bit trippy. I'll tell you why. We're gonna look at a brand new eyeshadow palette from Melt Cosmetics. This is the Melt Electrip Eyeshadow Palette. It is $58 and 10 shades of psychedelia. Take a look at that there. Very trippy, yes. This is the Electrip. Some of you out there watching this channel adore bright shades and colors, and some of you are like me. You tend towards the neutrals. I do too. I prefer a neutral palette, but there's something about these bright colors that are either intriguing or terrifying. And I thought what we would do today are two different looks. Certainly the looks in this little $58 palette are plentiful. You can get a ton of looks out of this, but we're gonna try two. I do not favor kind of rainbow bright eyes. I am a beauty writer and journalist, not a makeup artist. I've been really emphasizing that lately so that you guys know what side of the industry I come to you from. That's why I'm repeating it a lot. So I don't like to deal with different colors and graphic liners and things like that. I just like to put together quick, fun eyeshadow looks. So I thought we would do two out of the endless possibilities in this palette. My history with Melt Cosmetics is slightly varied. I really used to love their singles, but I didn't love their palettes. So a few of their palettes, when you guys ask me for comparisons, sometimes they're not in my collection because I took a break for a while. I found them patchy, but I think they've gotten a lot better, and this is certainly an interesting one for those of you viewers who love color. So let's take a look at these, and then as you notice, I have no eye makeup on, so we're gonna figure it out in two different looks. Okay, first let's go and take a look at this in studio lighting. Check out all 10 of these shades in nice creamy mattes and metallics to match. Take a look at that there first. In studio lighting, what do you think? They all have good little names to them as well that are kind of fun. Blue Heaven and Pseudo and Far Out. Melt always has billed itself kind of the rave version of cosmetics when you think about it. If you had to wear a certain look to a rave, it would probably be Melt, don't you think? All right, let's go outside into the warm California sunshine and take a look at these also on my arm in natural lighting. Really pretty and not at all patchy. The colors are very kind of pure and true, and very, very pretty. All right, let's go ahead and try on these psychedelic chromes and mattes and see what we get. And we're gonna do two different eye looks. You can't get more psychedelic than that. I have also brought over something I used the other day in my Viseart demonstration, and that is, they happen to be Glossier again, two different colored eyeliners. When I do a colored look, I like to emphasize it with a lower waterline colored eyeliner. I just think that helps it along a little bit. I don't know what we'll use of those or which, but let's give it a try. Okay, I have a combination of both Rephr brushes and Wayne Goss for today's eye look. I like when I see a colored palette, because I don't like to go everywhere and have rainbow eyes. It's just, I don't like it. I like to stick to one kind of color scheme, and I think that really helps. So we're gonna start this, and we're gonna do one eye here that is kind of oranges and browns. So I'm gonna go into this matte shade here, and I will put the name of that up. And I just want to slowly, my looks are not going to be that psychedelic. This palette is going to be a lot more interesting looking than the look that I come up with. And I'm okay with that because I am all about looking in the mirror and saying, oh, it's still me. So this is a very pretty orange shade. If you like color and you need something like this, going back in with another Rephr, same shade, it's kind of nice to have it, right, in the collection if you need it. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I could go into the reds if I wanted to. You can do this with a finger, this metallic shade. I'm just putting it on the outer portion of the eye, and I think that's really pretty. It looks like a little bit of a sunset. Super pretty. Like that a lot. And then we're going to go in with this shade right here and just lighten it up. So I've done an entirely orange eye, which is kind of fun. And then I think we're going to use this kind of maroon shade here to just like a darker kind of wine color better than black, but just kind of adds a little bit of interest. So that is eye number 1, all finished up. Kind of pretty, huh? Okay, let's do another color scheme on this eye. So I'm going to get fresh brushes here. We'll do something in the blues. Why not? So I'm going to start with this shade here, and I'm going to make sure to tap off my brush just a little bit, and let's see what happens when we get into the blue shades. I'm really pleased with the way these are performing. I'm not finding any to be sticky or patchy, and you know I'm telling you the truth because, as I told you, I stopped buying Melt for a while for that very reason. Okay, and I like this one a lot. Switching brushes now to go ahead and put that same shade underneath the eye a little bit. Very pretty. Okay, back to this. Let's go ahead in with this really bright green shade here. Going to go across the lid. I'm still getting many, many colors onto my eye, but I'm not getting varying rainbow colors. For instance, as you notice, I've got the greens and the blue greens here, but I do not have orange in with the green. I have 2 different eyes. I am ready for a rave, aren't I? And I just think this is a really kind of fun little gradation between the two. And I want to take my dark green pencil to kind of level it up. There's what the dark green looks like, almost mistaken for black, but it just gives it a little bit of a somberness that isn't necessarily black. Then I'm going to take this nice fluffy clean Refer brush and just kind of go around there just so it's not messy at all. Over there and blended. All right, let's take a look at that. Also quickly done. I like to cover when I do 2 eye looks so that it's not confusing. And here they are together. You want to talk about psychedelic. What do you guys think? So those were really, really quick, but talk about a really fun, bright eye that isn't too wild or crazy, that you can still do something with, especially grounded by a colored liner in the Waterline. That's kind of my favorite. And like I said, I like to stick to one. We have kind of an orange eye and a blue-green eye, but there are infinite possibilities in a palette like this. And of course, so many of you who don't mind hopping from palette to palette could integrate this quite easily with a more neutral palette, which so many of us have. If you took this and added even one of these shades to a neutral palette, I think you'd be quite happy and you would pep up a look so easily. Or what I did, just use it purely on its own. I do think it's a winner for Melt Cosmetics, not just for those of us who love color, but for those of us who also have a lot of neutral or brown leading palettes and would like to kick it up a little bit by simply adding in one palette. This kind of has everything you would want, from these kind of metallic shades to these kind of beautiful, nice, really easily buildable and creamy powder mattes. You've really got everything you could want in there. We don't really have a silver, but even that is kind of leaning towards silver, cools and warms. It's a really nice gradient look in this Melt Cosmetics palette. I think they did really good. Let me know what you think and if this is something you would pick up, even if it were just to spice up some neutral palettes. Let me know these things. That's what helps make this a community. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so we can continue to grow. And don't forget to come say hello and give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok too. You can become a bigger part of this channel by becoming a member or giving super thanks, as so many of you have done. But in any way that you choose to be here, I'm just thrilled to have you, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.